Hi, I'm Luke. I'm in the process of renovating my mid-Hudson Valley home. I previously remodeled my deck using Trex and cable wiring so we could enjoy the trees and the creek behind our house more. In this video, I'm going to show you how I added wood lattice to the deck frame and even added a small doorway so we can maintain access under our deck. To begin with, lattice is available in multiple materials, including pressure-treated wood and vinyl. I brought the pressure-treated wood while I was buying my other decking materials before I even knew what color we wanted the deck frame and railing to be. There are 3 steps involved in this deck project. There was building the framing for the deck to attach to, cutting the lattice, and attaching the lattice to the frame. I also stained the lattice so it would match the color of the deck. I actually started with the second step because I already had the lattice materials from the deck remodeling project and I didn't have the framing materials yet. After measuring how each lattice needed to be cut, I transferred those measurements to each of the lattice sheets, 10 in total. I used my oscillating multi-tool to make initial cuts, although you can also use a circular saw if you turn the blade around to avoid the kickback. Once the lattice was cut, I placed each piece against the deck frame to be sure everything was roughly going to fit properly. With the lattice cut out, I got to work staining the lattice. I only had a half a gallon of stain left over from the deck remodel, and figured a spray gun would result in too much waste, so I opted to use a roller first. That process did not work out well. It took me 10 hours to apply a first coat to each of the lattice sheets, and the coverage was not consistent. Plus, the stain bled through the painted cloth on my garage floor. I switched to the Wagner spray gun, which I'd honestly never used before. My wife demanded I put on full protection while using it. It proved to be more precise than I expected and a major time saver. I was able to stain the opposite side of each lattice sheet in 2 to 3 hours this time. While it took time to clean the spray gun afterward, the amount of time it saved during the staining process made it well worthwhile. The roller option did work well when it came to staining the 2x4 framing pieces in the deck frame, something I'd held off doing during the deck remodel. The deck framing pieces stained, I started cutting and constructing the frame layout. Working underneath the stairs was especially challenging. This was an incredibly difficult process because of the uneven terrain. I ultimately ensured that each corner was secured together, then worked my way towards the center of each section. Once the framing was complete, it was time to put each sheet of lattice back into place and trim off all the overlapping and excess that didn't line up the deck frame. From there, I secured each section using 3/4 inch Bostitch staples. We knew we wanted to maintain access underneath the deck to provide extra storage for gardening tools and materials. So I added a door to the frame, settling on a section that faced the creek where I couldn't walk directly into one of the supporting posts. I cut 2x4s lengthwise to build a door frame, using framing nails to hold it together, but I quickly discovered that it was all too flimsy for the door size I needed. So I replaced the top and the bottom sections with uncut 2x4s and used the composite deck screws. That made a much stronger door frame. I marked and cut out sections in the lattice to add hinges and a bolt. My wife determined we wanted the door to blend in with the rest of the lattice sections. So once the deck was installed, I stapled the final sheet of lattice into place. Then cut around the framing of the door using an oscillating multi-tool, sanding down all the rough edges. While it's too cold out now for the stain to dry properly, the deck frame now looks complete and uniform. I'll do the finishing touching up work in the spring. A breakdown of materials and costs is available at the website eyecatcherliving.com. I've included a link to the website in the description below. If you liked watching this video, you might also enjoy watching how I remodeled our deck and installed cable railing. If you want to keep up with the rest of our renovation projects, please like and subscribe below. Thanks for watching.